Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Headhunter here, back at you with another video. And in today's video, I'm coming at you with something. This is my personal top 10 dino list for Ark Ascendant the Island. So this list isn't going from best to worst or worst to best. You know, it's not a ranking. This is just a list of the dinosaurs when I hop into a game of Ark. First time, fresh start. These are the dinosaurs I tend to try first, either to help me for farming, or for caves, or for boss fights. So that is my reasoning for coming up with this list. I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Alright guys, enjoy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 10, we have the Basilosaurus. This is my favorite animal in the ocean, and it is just awesome. I love it. Now, to tame it, all you have to do is kill all the mantas that are usually surrounding these basilos, and after you guys destroy all the mantas, you can feed it exceptional kibble, or raw fish, and it will tame. These tames are great. They're my favorite tames in the ocean. I love them more than the Tusos. I love them more than the Mosas, Plezos, all the dinosaurs. This thing has so many benefits to it. Once you tame it, it is unreal. Now when it comes to the caves, for getting the artifact of the Cunning and as well as artifact of the Brute, there's no other dino I would want with me than the Basilo. The Tusos can't fit in the cave. They're really hard to maneuver. Plus, one jellyfish will ruin your guys' day. And the jellyfish don't affect the Basilo. This thing can handle whatever you throw at it. Man, is it tanky. It has a massive health cap. I've had him at 250,000 health on the old game, that is. I haven't had that on this game. And they're the dinosaur I bring with me when I go do these underwater caves. The great thing about them, if you get really hurt in the cave, all you have to do is go to the surface and they heal extremely fast on the surface, which makes it, you can go in the cave, do what you gotta do. If you get hurt, you come out, you heal up. Within 2 minutes, you're back in that cave going after that artifact. The Basilos can definitely hold their own against alphas as well because of that massive health cap. It's great for farming any alphas in the ocean as long as you have at least a decent saddle and a decent level. If I had one criticism about the Basilo, it is going to have to be its speed. It is a little bit on the slow side, but with all the positives, that's a negative I'm willing to live with, for sure. As I was saying, when it comes to the jellyfish does not stun or dismount you on the whale, which is awesome. I don't know if you guys know, in the olden games, jellyfish everywhere, Ragnarok, and it's just a headache sometimes. This thing can handle those things without a problem. And another added benefit, as if there's not enough, is the Tusos cannot grab the Basilo. Look at all these Tusos around here. Not one of them can grab me. And that makes it a big bonus for farming black pearls and stuff. And this thing can kill Tusos, no problem. Not a problem at all. So because of how easy it is to tame with kibble or raw fish, and with all that, the benefits that comes with having a Basilo, the tankiness, the faster regen of health, no jellyfish stun, no Tuso grab, all these, and the size. The size is another good reason. It's compact and small, and for all those reasons, that is why the Basilo is on this list and is one of my favorite dinos of all time. Coming in at number 9, we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the old G. Now, to tame these guys, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is knock them out with tranquilizers. And their preferred food is kibble, exceptional kibble, but you can also use prime meat, nothing else, raw meat. Once you tame these guys, they are your best friend. You can use them for all sorts of things. You can use them for farm and hide, as well as meat for your feeding troughs at your base, or for your babies. They're just an all-around awesome dino to have. They always got your back. If you add in the mixture of a decent saddle, they're pretty unstoppable. They're great, like I said, for your farming hide, farming your raw meat. I always have to have one of these when I start a game because that's my primary for bosses, as well as for farming eggs for kibble. The primary reason also is they're great for boss fights. 19 Rexes and a Yudi. Oh yeah, there's no better combination in my opinion. Great for bosses, you can do all 3 bosses with them. So versatile, the damage output, the health cap is good on them too. Pretty tanky, they can be pretty tanky. Just a great reliable mount, and for this, that's why the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the old G, is on this list. Coming in at number 8, we have the Ankylosaurus. To tame it, all you have to do is tranquilize it, knock it out, give it kibble, mejo berries, or crops, and then it's your buddy. Now these things can be carried by an Argentavis or Rhinogaria, the big bug. They're D1 dino for metal. These things can hold a lot of metal. They're great for farming a couple things. Metal, particularly flint, that you need for spark powder, which you need for making gunpowder, which is used for making bullets. So extremely useful, as well as it's great for mining obsidian, crystal. You just don't get a weight reduction with those as you would for metal. So let's take a look at the weight reduction here. If you take metal from the Anky, it is 45 pounds for a 300 stack, full stack. When you bring it to my inventory, it's 300 pounds. So huge weight reduction, and it is great for, like I said, obsidian, flint, and crystal, except for the fact that you don't get a weight reduction with crystal, obsidian, or flint. Only the metal. Only the metal. Every player that plays this game has an Anky. It is an absolutely must, and because you need it so much and it's so handy, that's why it's on this list at number 8. Alright guys, coming in at number 7 we have the Rhinogaria. This thing looks awesome. It's sickly looking. It's one of my favorite looking dinos in Ark. So to tame this thing, first you need to kill a male Rhinogaria and collect its pheromone. And then you have to go into the swamp and find a female and bring a dinosaur that has a little bit of health, good saddle, that you don't mind losing. And then you have to damage the Rhinogaria until it has 10% health. And then you have to feed your dinosaur that you want to sacrifice the pheromone. Damage the Rhinogaria below 10% and he will impregnate your dino. It's really weird tame, interesting, and kind of fun. It's hard to learn, but once you do it once or twice, it's really easy after. You can see how fast it was here for me to do. So there's a few abilities the Rhino has that are awesome. This thing can pick up replicators, forges, stuff that you place down, and you can replace them. That's kind of cool. As well as they can pick up any wild dino or your own tames. The only thing it won't pick up are gigas and karchars, but everything else I believe it picks up, which is just cool. So that's pretty cool when it comes to taming. Another good thing is When given sap, this thing will turn the sap, craft resin, and you can use it like a turret. That's cool. I've used it a few times. Just take some sap, and then the Rhino will craft the sap into ammo, resin, and you can just shoot whatever you want with it. It's really fun and really neat to use. And another great thing I love about the Rhino is its maneuverability. I love how it moves. It can turn on a dime. It's great for taming when you're shooting off the back of it. It can up and down like an elevator. It can swivel. It's awesome. Like I say, the maneuverability is great for taming. You can shoot off it, and in my opinion, you can tame a Giga, no problem, with no trap, just shooting off the back of this thing. That's why I love it. It's great for taming Gigas. It takes away some of the need to build some traps. Maybe not all traps, but definitely some. It's just easy to shoot off the back of this thing. The front runner for this would have been an RG, but I find the Rhino does more than the RG. Even though the RG does have a smithy and this thing does not have a smithy, I'd still prefer the Rhino other than an Archie. Archie used to be king, but now it's this. Now it's this. Another great thing about these things, even though I don't do it very much, they can swim underwater. Though they are kind of slow, they can swim underwater, which is kind of cool, and not a lot of people know about that. I wouldn't call them great underwater, but you don't get dismounted when you touch the water, which is great, and you can just keep flying when you get out of the water. Rhino can also carry a lot. It has a lot of weight points, which is great. So for all these reasons, that's why it is on this list. It beats out the RG, in my opinion, no problem. Coming in at number 6, we have the Dodicis. Probably one of the easiest tames, as well as the less complicated tames. This thing is a must for every Ark player. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys are like me, I like to build my bases out of stone. I think aesthetically it looks better, even though I'm not the best builder in Ark. Far from it. Far from it, as you can tell. I do like to make my bases out of stone, and stone is also good for making spark powder, which makes gunpowder, which makes bullets. Definitely a must, right? For every Ark player. Now, to knock one out, you need to shoot it with a tranquilizer dart, not arrow, because they just ball up if you use an arrow. You can stick in kibble, mejo berries or crops, and voila, you tamed a Dodicis. Or you can just kill the mama and just take the baby. So, these things are great for getting stone. The Dodicis does for stone what the Ankylosaurus does for metal. The exact same thing. These things can harvest a lot of stone and fast too. A lot faster than you would with an axe or a pickaxe. So, like the Yankee, let's take a look at the Dodicis and check out the weight. See, you have the weight, 12.5 when it's in the Dodicis. If you put it in your inventory, it weighs 50. So you get a big weight reduction with the Dodicis. So because of that and how much you need stone, this is a must if you're playing Ark. A must. And for that reason, that is why it's on this list. It's a necessity. You have to have one of these, in my opinion. Coming in at number 5, we have the beast of versatility, the Tyrannosaurus, the tickle monster. So to tame one, you knock one out with trank darts. You can feed it kibble, mejos, or crops. Really likes crops. Fairies do take a while to tame, and their torpor goes down super fast, so make sure you have lots of extra narcotics with you. So the Therizino is one of only a handful of dinos that have a secondary level up system. You got your first ones in there, but then if you go into this menu, you can level up power if you want to get more wood, or you can level up the delicate for more fiber and rare flowers. So your Therizino, you can level it up to your needs. Theri is good at getting berries. It's really well at getting berries. Very versatile at getting a bunch of things, but one of the things is it can gather you lots of berries. And on top of the berries, it can also get you a lot of fiber. Especially if you put those points into delicate, you get more fiber. And rare flowers as well, which you need rare flowers for a lot of kibble and cooking needs, right? It's like it's tickling the grass. Anyways, lots of fiber. That's another thing. So if you put a few points into weight, this thing is great at getting wood as well. Really good at getting wood. I live in the redwoods. My base is in the redwoods, so this tree's taking a beating. Look at all that wood in the corner there, in the mid left. It's great. Great for getting wood for that gunpowder, or building needs, whatever you need at the start of the game. It is awesome at getting it. Besides all the gathering and stuff, the Therizinosaur is also a great mount for fighting. And gathering hide too. I believe it's, besides the Giga, I think it's one of the top dinosaurs for gathering hide. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. I also know that a few people, it's not my style, but a lot of people will bring these guys into the boss fight too with veggie cake so they can heal faster. So they're just so versatile. They can do so many things, the Therizinosaur. It's great for the beginning. You get everything you need with one shot. The Theory is great for a beginner game. It's like an all-in-one shop, and that is why it's on this list. These tickle monsters are great. Just awesome. Coming in at number 4, we have the Dung Beetle. Anybody with a garden will definitely need one. These things are used for fertilizer. Now to tame them, all you have to do is put fecal matter in your last slot on your toolbar, on your hotbar. Go up to it and press E or triangle, and it's as easy as that. One of the easiest animals to tame. They can be found in caves on the island. In Ascendant, the beetle does automatically pick up the fecal matter for you. You don't have to place it in there. It's a change I like. But you put the fecal matter inside the dung beetle. Then you enable wandering in the settings. Wait a bit and come back. And when you come back, it should produce fertilizer. It can also produce a little bit of oil too. The more points you put into weight, the more poo you can put in the dung beetle, the more fertilizer you can make. So after you get the fertilizer, you obviously use it in your crops to grow stuff like berries and vegetables, and those stuff could be put into a cooking pot, and that's how you would make kibble, as well as some soups, but I mainly use it for the kibble. Kibble's the easiest way to tame anything in Ark, because all tames prefer some sort of kibble. And since kibble is such a mainstay on how I play and how I tame, I always try hard to use kibble and have kibble. That is why it's on this list at number 4. It's a must. I always have to have kibble for taming. It just makes the process so much smoother and easier. Coming in at number 3, we have the Bionics. These things are great. I use them for caves mostly. Now, in order to tame these guys, you first got to knock it out with a trank dart. I had a little bit of problems here, but you could definitely bolo them. That would make it a little easier. After you knock it out, you just put in your taming food, kibble, or cooked fish prime, or just regular fish if you have nothing else. Now the reason why these guys are on the list is these guys have an awesome water attack and great for harvesting fish. You can see this guy's spin attack in the water, and for harvesting fish, it's a great source for harvesting fish. But that's not the main reason why I like these things. The main reason why I like these things, these animals are small enough to fit in a lot of these caves on the island. They just see that, they just squeeze in perfectly. And I'd like to grind loot and as well as get artifacts, these are the perfect animal for it. Usually I'd prefer Shadowmanes, but there's no Shadowmanes here, so I use the Bionics. That is the only reason why it's on this list, but what's Ark without some loot grinding or getting artifacts, right? You have to, so I use this dinosaur a lot for just caves, mainly just caves, and for that reason, that is the reason why it's on this list. Coming in at number 2, we have the furry little T-Rex, the Uranus. Yes, funny name, I know. Ha 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 ha. So, in order to tame one, you have to knock it out with a tranquilizer dart, gun, or build a trap. Their preferred kibble is extraordinary kibble, that's the rare kibble, or mutton. So I am killing this sheep and giving it mutton instead of kibble because I do not have that kibble, but they do prefer the kibble, obviously. So these guys' torpor goes down very slowly, and they do take a little while to tame. You can build a trap too. Traps are always good, but other than that, they're pretty easy to tame. They have a few special abilities. The first one I'm going to talk about is they can roar and scare away small animals and a lot of bugs like spiders and stuff. So they're awesome for caves. And the other ability is the roar. Now during a boss fight, for example, it will buff all your T-Rexes or all your Megatheriums. I think it's a 25% damage buff, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. So that makes a huge difference in the boss fight. So with those two buffs, the ones that scare away small animals, they're smaller than the Rex, so they fit in caves well, they can scare away spiders, and because they're so good during the boss fight with that damage buff, that is why the Uranus is on this list. And coming in finally at number 1, we have the all-powerful Megatherium. Man, these things are great. Now to tame one, you have to trap one, and you just knock it out with trank darts, and you give it kibble, or berries, but obviously you always want to tame with kibble, it's just better. Now these things have a buff, you see how its head's glowing? So what you do is you kill a bug or something and they get a huge damage buff against bugs. Like I take out this rhino really fast because the rhino is a bug. So these things are insane against all insects, including or bugs, and if they can fit, they're great for caves too, and the best at farming chitin. So obviously one of the bosses is a bug. So these things are awesome against the spider. If you're planning on farming for element and you need element, do the spider boss fight with a bunch of Megatheriums, and you got, of course, the old General Uranus. They make for a deadly combination. So these things are great at farming chitin. You got that damage buff against bugs, and they're great for one of the boss fights. Yeah. Because of all their usefulness for all the farming and for doing the boss, that is why the Megatherium is on this list. Well, there you have it, survivors. That's my 10 dino list, my top 10 dino list. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, which animal I missed or anything. You know, I didn't put Gigas and Carches on it because you can play Ark without them just fine. So, anyways, just thought I'd try something new. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Keep on surviving.